Good evening, students. I hope I'm audible to all. Please confirm if you all can hear me. Students, am I audible? Thank you so much for responding. Thank you, Jayesh, for responding. Good evening, Sachin sir. Good evening, Saurabh, Kaustubh. Good evening, Ruchika. Good evening, Jayesh, Athar. Yeah. So once again, I would like to welcome all you and I would like to welcome all of you in another power-packed session today. Again, a very interesting and the topic which is of a lot of relevance for all of us. And as you all know that the topic for the class is stress management, right? So I'm sure that this topic is something which is very close to all of us, as all of us experience this stress, whether we are a student, a working professional, a housewife, parents, right? All of us go through this stress a lot of time, right? And when you talk about stress, it has become an integral part of our day-to-day life. So we cannot avoid it. And something which cannot be avoided needs to be managed, right? So what do we mean by, see, the simple meaning of the term management is efficient utilization or optimum utilization of it, right? And when we are saying stress management, that means we are going to utilize our stress for our benefit. You must be wondering, ma'am, how stress can be utilized. But let me just talk about all these concepts. So stress not always is bad, but how we are going to make the benefit out of it is something which needs to be kept in mind, right? So let me just share the presentation for the day and let's uh, start the session with stress management. See, the choice is in our hand, whether we want to do something or we don't want to do it, right? So it is very simple. If you don't want to do something, that is perfectly fine. But if you choose to play, you might be at the receiver's end also, right? And when I say receiver's end, that means you might face a lot of issues. You might have to undergo a lot of stress while doing the same. So that means it is up to us whether you want to sit as an audience or you want to be a part of the game, right? And being a part of the game requires a lot of stress that you need to understand how to handle, right? So today's session is the 20th session, and this is the third last session in the soft skills module series that we have been doing. So now we are, doing a lot of concepts, which I'm sure you are going to remember even after completing these modules. Stress management is one of the most important modules as far as soft skills is concerned, right? So stress management. Again, the ritual of the class, as we always do, we try to find out the expectations that we have from the session. Can you all see the screen now? Kindly respond if you all can see the screen now. All right, Mr. Venkatesh, are you able to see the screen? All right, so everybody can see the screen, right? So may I know what are the expectations which you people have in mind? Once you have read the concept stress management, and as you all are familiar with my teaching methodology also and the pedagogy which I adopt in class. So what is your expectation from the class or from me? That ma'am, you should include these things. Okay, learn how to control stress. Okay, Prerna. Certainly, I'll be talking about this, right? And what other concepts? I think that everybody should respond, right? This is not a topic where you have to learn something before responding. How to manage time? Yes, Leela rightly said, because time management is an important aspect. And if you're going to prioritize your time and you have a well planned daily routine schedule, it will be easier for you to manage your stress. Definitely, Athar, because prolonged stress can lead to chronic illnesses also, and a lot of mental well-being is also connected with stress management. Right. So I think we are on the same. Right. Definitely, how to deal with anxiety, how to lower your anxiety and stress. What is stress? Definitely, we'll be talking about all these things. That means all of us are on the same platform. So let us quickly start the session. Right. So all expectations set in place. What I have decided and what you people have in mind, certainly it's at the same level, right? So let's quickly start. We'll be talking about definition of stress and how to manage that. Very interesting pick, as you can see, a meme, right? So what is stress? Stress is nothing but your body's response, right? And when your body responds to a physical or emotional changes in life, that is called as stress. So stress is not always psychological, it's physiological also. Sometimes you must have seen that when you overwork for an entire day and you start having headache, or you start having cramps in your legs, right? That is called as physical stress. That means you have overburdened your body without taking a rest. At the same time, we have emotional stress also and psychological stress as well. So we'll be talking more about it in the coming slides. But anything that that your body is responding to it, it can be a physical or an emotional change in life, is termed as stress. This is the simplest of the definition. I'm not getting into any psychological definition for the concept of stress. Reason being, we are going to utilize this concept in our day-to-day life, right? So I thought that let me be as simple in discussing the concept as possible, right? So that you can also understand and feel related with it. It shouldn't sound Latin and French to you, right? I came across a very interesting definition by Benjamin Franklin, which says stress is often termed as a 20th century syndrome. Right. So if you talk about 19th century, people were leading a good enough life. They were very comfortable with the kind of resources they were having, right? So basically, you can say that this term has come into existence in 20th century, right? And what Benjamin Franklin said maybe means I don't completely agree with this, but yes, partially that is right. Because in 20th century there is a rat race, right? And we are going towards more and more modernity, and certainly this modernity is increasingly bringing in a lot of complexities in our day-to-day life, right? With the advancement in technology and with the increasing use of gadgets around us, the daily relaxation time, the daily time when you spend with your families, with your friends, right? That time is lowering down. So, which is also a very important reason or an important stressor in our day-to-day life, right? Everybody tries to achieve the maximum possible benefits in the least time, right? Earlier, we always used to say there's no shortcut to success, but now people are just looking for shortcuts because they want to achieve so much things in very less time, right? So Benjamin Franklin said that stress is a 20th century induced or designed concept, because people are running after progress in all the aspects, and that too in a very, very limited time frame, right? So to understand it more, I have, you always know that what ma'am brings in the class is a few audio visual to make the class lively, right? I have a power pack session in the term. There will be videos, there will be because all these are self-improvement modules. So we also have a stress test in the class today. I'll be sharing a stress test also, and I will also share a very interesting story with you all, so that you're not going to forget the concept of stress management, right? So stories are just shared so that you can always remember the concept in the same manner in which I intend to put it across. Remember the very first class where we have talked about the process of communication. What the sender of the message wants to convey, the receiver has to understand it in the same line of thinking. And that is the reason why before every class I share, or I ask you to share your expectations, right? So let us have a look at this video. So this is a kind of a summary of the entire concept of stress, like what is stress, what are the causes of stress, what are the effects of stress, right? Let us have a look.
Stress is a normal physical response to events that make you feel threatened or upset in some way. Stress can be of real physical nature, such as a fire, or a deep set of life, like job stress or financial worry. Our body's reaction to stress can take a toll on our health if not managed. In response to stress, your nervous system releases a flood of stress hormones, including two called adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart pumps faster, muscles tighten, blood pressure rises, breath quickens, and senses become sharper. If you have a lot of
Is my screen visible to all? All right.
responsibilities and worries, your stress may be on most of the time. The more your body's stress system is activated, the harder it is to shut off. Chronic stress can have devastating effects on your health. Did you know that 90% of all diseases are caused or complicated by stress? Chronic stress can also have physical symptoms such as aches and pains, trouble sleeping, and chest pain. Check out these tips that are easy to incorporate into your daily routine to help manage stress. Movement can greatly slow your body's response to stress. Regular aerobic exercise reduces levels of stress hormones in the body as well as stimulate production of endorphins, which act as the body's natural mood elevators. Take a walk and do some simple stretches. Another way of reducing stress quickly is by using your senses. What you see, hear, smell, and touch. Look through your favorite photo album. Smell a specific scent you love. Listen to music. Hug a pet. All these simple activities can immediately help your stress levels decrease. Besides sensory, help cope with stress in your life. Manage your time. Prioritize important tasks and those that can wait. Manage commitments and reduce procrastination. Time for pleasurable activities such as gardening or sharing time with friends. Enough rest or sleep. Most adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Not getting enough sleep can increase feelings of stress through less patience and increased agitation. While we cannot get rid of stress entirely, following these easy tips can help you manage it. Health Texas also provides a patient education course on stress management. Talk with your doctor.
Right. So the message which I was trying to put across with the help of this video is that you have seen that almost 90% of the physiological issues that we are facing in the contemporary world or in the people around us, you must have seen that the doctors say that all these are lifestyle diseases. Whether you talk about diabetes or you talk about blood pressure or you talk about some of even heart ailments, right? All these are induced because of chronic stress, right? So it is always beneficial to take out some time for yourself and relax yourself. You have just seen in the video, there are a few strategies which the video talks about, although I'll also be talking about it in the detail. But this video was to make you understand that taking care of your health is very important, and it has to be the utmost objective of everybody's life. And corona has also made us realize That something which is on top priority for all of us is our strong immune system and our good health, right? This is something which we are not going to compromise anyhow, right? Everything else comes on a second priority level. You must have seen that people who have earned a lot, those who were having a lot of name, fame, and everything, but could not survive because of this the bad health, or because they have not a strong immune system, they have not been taking care of their health, and they could not survive through this pandemic, right? So I'm just not trying to demoralize everybody, but yes, definitely I'm trying to make you people understand that this is very, very important, that you need to take care of your health. Let us just talk about some common causes of stress. These are not the only causes, but these are definitely some of the causes which we all face. Job insecurity for all those students who are sitting in my class and probably in the final years, they are having this thing in mind: the situation is so bad, the market is not good, how will I get a job, what will happen, I have invested such a huge amount in my academics, now my parents are having a lot of expectations from me. Every second person whom I'm meeting is asking, okay, so what next, what are your plans, are you going to have campus placements and all those things, right? Or you so now this job insecurity is creating a lot of stress, right, among many of the students. High performance demand, those working professionals, right, or even students, they always have an expectations. A working professional has to show a very good performance that is expected. Sometimes, see, every time it is not possible that you are going to perform or you are going to score a 6 on every ball. That is certainly not possible. But then when you are not able to score, or when you are not able to hit the ball across the boundary, this is an analogy that I'm using, right? So that time you have to listen from your boss. So your performance is not going good, please take care, right? Sometimes even bad bosses also create a lot of stress. So as you all are students, you might not have come across, and my good wishes that you don't ever come across a bad boss. But dear students, this is something which is indispensable. Everywhere you will not get people or superiors or bosses who are very likable, or who are going to behave as per your expectations, right? So you need to understand that world is full of all kind of people. You have to manage with them. So the key word here that we have to understand, and once we are going to complete the modules of soft skills, we have to understand that the key word to survive in today's environment is manage with things. Workplace culture, when you will join an organization, you will hardly find anybody who says that the work culture of my organization is very good. Because human beings by nature tend to look at the problems, right? No matter everything is going on very fine in their life, they'll start thinking, oh, everything is going very fine, I think that a huge problem is about to come, right? So even if everything is going fine, we'll start thinking and we'll start creating negative energies, anticipating that everything is fine, that means something big is coming up, right? Personal or family problems. Now tell me the name of even a single person around you. Just look at people around you or think about them, and tell me the name of a single person whom you have, you know him or her closely, and you think that there is absolutely no problem in his life or her life. You might be having few examples, right? Don't tell me about Facebook friends, because on Facebook we all tend to show the best of our pictures, right? So don't just go by social media. Every person in his or her life is struggling with some or the other challenge. There's nobody who's having a perfect life. What do you call a perfect life, right? Without any fear, without any tension, without any problems. As I told you in one, I don't know in which class, but I told you that life is full of ups and downs, right? So even an ECG machine, It says that you are alive until when the ECG goes up and down, up and down. Your heart rate goes up and down. And when the heart rate goes in a straight line, that means you are dead. Right? So as we all are alive, so these personal problems, family problems will definitely come every day. And of course, another common cause of stress is the technology. Online classes, online exams, right? Zoom calls, Google Meets, right? You ask, the students have to attend the classes right from the start of the day till late evening. Like most of you are attending your soft skill sessions even right now. Some of you might be wondering, ma'am, why the class in such a late evening? We are just stressed and exhausted, isn't it? How many of you are feeling this? I'm a class at 8 in the evening. Oh my God, we are so stressed. Isn't it, students? So I'm sure that when you must have got the notification that we are about to have a session late evening. Okay, Sachin sir is saying no. Okay, thank you so much, Sachin sir. Right, but I'm sure that once you have got the message that you are going to have classes late in the evening at 8, you might be wondering, oh my God, another session now at 8 in the evening. But I'm sure that once you started interacting with me, you are no longer feeling the sessions as a pressure. Rather, these sessions are acting as a stress buster, isn't it, students? Don't you all feel that these sessions are like a stress buster for you, which are really helpful for you in understanding the practical things of life, right? Which are helpful for you in your self improvement, right? So basically, the soft skills sessions that we are having, these are self-improvement sessions that we are having, right? And you will definitely get the advantage of these all sessions once you will start implementing the strategies that we have discussed so far. I've just got 4 responses. I'm not sure whether other students are sleeping or are awake in my class. Are the students sleeping? I can understand because you all are very stressed and tired. Is that so? I have got a response from Sachin Pandey sir, then Falgun, then Neha, then Prerna, Saurabh, Athar. And finally Arvind and Athar said, no ma'am, we are not sleeping. Right? But still, I'm expecting 60 more responses. I don't know why you people are not interacting with me. But not a problem. Let's continue. The more you interact in the class, the more you will feel engaged in the class. Otherwise, it will become like a Ramkatha where I'm preaching, I'm telling you about the entire Ramayana and you're just listening. Okay, and I don't want this to be a Ramayana session only. I just want this to be a highly interactive session. Now let us have a look at the signs of stress. Okay, students, let me ask you a question. When your exams are about to come, right, do you all feel stressed? Thank you so much, Pragati, for confirming. Right. So how many of you feel stressed when you have some important deadlines approaching or you have exams approaching? You feel stressed, right? Now, can you all just share with me what happens as in terms of physiological changes? Either you start feeling more hungry or there is loss of appetite. That is one of the most common effects of stress. Insomnia, right? You are stressed all the time. You are thinking about your exams, your marks. So that might lead to sleeplessness. Although I've seen students sleeping a lot during exams, right? And the more you'll be approaching your exams, the lesser concentration you will have, isn't it? So, okay, I just want to make a confession, and I'm sure that all those who are agree with me will send me a why. Standing outside the examination hall and revising a concept just at the 11th hour. Do you think you are able to pay any attention on that? Do you think you are able to concentrate on that? When you are revising a concept just at the 11th hour standing outside the examination hall. Your friend comes and tells you, have you revised that question? It is very important. and out of that anxiety and stress, you open up that page also, but still you will not remember everything, isn't it? Still I'm not getting response. Students, okay, yes, definitely. Why? Because stress also has this symptom that towards the end, or the more stress, the more under stress are you, the lesser will be the concentration, right? So Sachinji, this works for you at the 11th hour. If you revise something that works, okay, that's great, because all of us have a different threshold. I will be also talking about this, that every person has a different threshold, but most of the students will agree with what I said, right? Under stress, you will face a lot of anger and frustration. And a very general repercussion or side effect of stress is family conflict, migraine, headache, back problems. You will find, having a lot of backache also. So all these things are, or all these physical symptoms are the probable symptoms of, or the probable signs of stress, right? Okay, I'm not going to take the name of the student, but I have a point here which somebody has raised. I want the entire class to react on the same. Learning is in the nature of human, but since we hate schools and college, there must be something wrong. I partially agree with you that yes, definitely, learning is in the nature of human. But as I said, that human beings by nature have a tendency to look for negatives first and the positives later, right? So when we are a part of an educational institution, so by nature we try to look at the negatives, right? And by the time we start perceiving the positives of the institution, either we are passed out of the institution or we have failed very badly, right? And then after that we realize that we have wasted a golden period of our life of that educational institution. And students, one more point that I would like to raise here: the grass on the other side always looks green. You will always feel that the my friend or my colleague who is working in another organization or who is studying in another college is having a lot of good time, or he is enjoying, or he has made a wiser decision, right? Because the situation in which you are, the pros and cons of the same, right? But the other person who is in other situation, you are looking it as an outsider, so you're not very well aware of the entire situation, right? So as you can see in the image also that I've shared, right, these are some physical signs of stress: headache, lump in the throat, neck and shoulder pain is of course a very important sign, upset stomach, back pain, heavy chest, sometimes you feel restlessness also, not feeling hungry, and as I said, leg cramps also, tight muscles, right? So that means if you are facing these signs, that means it is the time when your body is saying that I give up. That means you need to slow down, relax, take a deep breath, take some time out for yourself, spend time with your family, do something that you like to do, right? So these are basically some of the signs of stress. There might be some more, right? So, and studies have revealed that chronic stress can even lead to cancer as well, right? Ulcers, cancers, and of course, that blood pressure is a problem that is definitely related with stress only. So here, as you can see, the impact of stress, it has been broadly classified into 4 groups. So if you talk about body, we have also seen that in the earlier slide, the physical impact of stress: fatigue. Fatigue means when you start feeling very tired, headache, taut muscles, skin irritations also, frequent infections, and constricted breathing. Students, focus on your breathing pattern also. A lot of people who take short breaths or who do not breathe properly will have more chances of getting into acute stress. So please focus on your breathing, right? Then a negative impact on stress on mind, you will start having a lot of worries in your mind. This will lead to indecision, negativity, not clear thinking, and you will start taking hasty decisions without even giving it a thought, and that will definitely, you know, have a negative impact on your judgment capacity. Emotionally also, you will feel a loss in your confidence, you will be highly apprehensive of others, indifferent, you will get into depression, irritability, right? You'll be easily irritable by every situation, and insomnia. Insomnia means sleeplessness. Under extreme conditions, you will find people getting into substance abuse because of stress. Must have seen people getting into alcoholism or any kind of drug addiction also because of stress, or they feel that if they are going to make use of a substance that might help them and they'll be relieved of that stress. However, that happens for a certain period of time, but it has so many bad effects on life and health. Loss of appetite is something which you will highly find. Accident prone, because once you lose the capacity to have control over your brain and your body, so that means you are prone to accidents. Restlessness, loneliness, you will not feel like talking to anyone, and that again is connected with depression. So this is going to be a vicious cycle. Your mind, your body, your emotions, your behavior, everything will be negatively affected by these stress, right? So that means this is definitely something which has to be tackled or handled at the very, very first symptom only. However, there's a positive side to it also. As you can see on the screen, we are talking about two concepts: eustress and distress. So if you are going to add a prefix called EU to stress and a prefix called DI to stress, it will altogether change the meaning of the concept, right? So eustress means positive stress and distress means negative stress. You must be wondering, ma'am, how can stress be positive? Let me give you an example, right? So let's say your exams are in December, right? So what is the most likely time when you will start studying positively, or you will start putting in more of efforts? August, September, October, or November? Let's say you have your exam starting in December. So what is the time when you are likely to have the most, the most efficient studies, right? So I got just two responses. What about others? Okay, very good. I've got four responses. Okay, there's somebody who is even more, has the capacity to deal with stress. Somebody who says last night, right? But most of you said November, right? Okay. Now, this is called as eustress. So when stress is helping you in improving your performance, that is called as eustress, right? And distress means when the stress and performance are inversely related. That means increase in the level of stress will lead to decrease in performance. For example, let's say that you have, you are working in an organization where the work environment is not favorable. Your boss is not good, he shouts at you for everything, or the colleagues are always conspiring, they are back chatting, or they are trying everything to let you down. Other kind of exploitations are also there. Now you are not feeling positive about that organization. Now this is distress. because it is going to hamper your performance. It is going to affect your performance in a negative manner, right? So this is called as distress. So I think that with this example, I've made it clear that how can stress be, a positive influencer on your performance, isn't it? So let me just show you a very interesting, graph with the help of which you can understand this concept. Now this is it, stress performance connection. As you see, performance and stress on two different continuum. So let me just show you with the help of this laser pointer. Now, if you focus here, this one, right? When we have, just a minute. Right. So if you focus here, we are saying that stress is also low and performance is also low, right? So that means you are enjoying yourself, right? Let's say you have exam in December and right now it's only July. So you might be thinking, I have to start preparing for my exams. I should, at least make a schedule. Let me just go to library and find out the books, right? This is this time. So everything is low. Now, stress is increasing as you see here. The stress is increasing and so is the performance, right? So now let's say by, August or September, you have your books with you. You have completed your assignments and you have started preparing notes. As I've asked you that when you are going to study the maximum, when is your performance optimal? You said November, if we have exams in December. Now this is the medium range, right? Now this curve is called as a bell-shaped curve, which says that to a certain level, things are good, but after it will go down, right? So this is the optimal level of stress, which will help you, sorry, in achieving the optimal performance, let's say, right? This is the optimal level of the performance with medium level of stress. Now, after this level also, if the stress continues, you can see the stress is continuing, but the performance is going down from here. So from optimal, even if the stress continues, it will lead to anxiety. Under prolonged stress, it will lead to anxiety, right? And if you will keep on increasing the level of stress, even after that, the performance will not improve. But once you go towards high, you will find that the person is becoming disorganized. And this is the phase where you will have acute stress or chronic stress, right? And as I said that the chronic stress leads to a lot of physical and mental problems, right? So this curve shows that to a certain level, stress and performance are directly related. That means with increase in stress, the performance also improves, but it happens to a certain level only, because after that, if you still keep on increasing the stress, so here, right, when we are having a positive relationship, this is called as eustress, and towards the right side when it is going down, this is called as distress, right? So when stress and performance are positively related, this is called as eustress. And when the stress and performance are negatively related, that means higher the stress, lower the performance. That is called as distress. Clear? So this concept is very interesting and very important. Now the question arises, if stress is good for us to a certain extent, how should we manage it, or how should we, or what are the cues with the help of which we can understand that this is the optimal level now, and if I'll continue to prolong the stress, it might get converted to distress, right? So that means it's a high time and we need to change our chance to be expressed to a stressor. So students, if you want to manage your stress, the first thing that you have to do is you have to understand and look out for your stressors. after a certain period of time, stop exposing yourself to these stressors. We can also change our thinking pattern about the stressor, right? It is just the matter of how you look at things, right? And we should also change the coping resources. The way we respond to these stressors or the way we handle these stressors can also be changed if we want to manage our stress effectively, right? So I'm skipping this video for now because we are short of time and I have a lot of content to complete. So let me just talk about let me just talk about certain tips for stress management. Right, as you all can see, these are all those tips that we have just now also talked about in the video. The first thing being, take a proper sleep, right? 7 to 8 hours of sleep is something which a normal an adolescent or a middle age individual requires. So 7 to 8 hours of sleep is essential for you. Take out time to relax yourself. I won't say go for vacation because this is pandemic time. So please do take care of yourself. Stay home, stay safe. But definitely take out some time for yourself, for meditation, for relaxation. Whatever helps you in relaxing, you can try that technique, right? You can listen to music. You can spend time with good friends. You can also pursue a hobby. See, learning something new always creates excitement in us, right? So learning something new will help you in easing out your stress. Eat well means eat healthy food, right? So avoid junk food because nutritional content also plays a very important role in catering to the stress adjustment. Exercise regularly. The pandemic also demands you to take care of your health, so please do take care of your health and exercise regularly. Exercising regularly also helps to improve the functioning of your heart and brain, which will help you in fighting with stress. Avoid stressors and learn to tackle the problem. There are n number of ways in which your problem can be resolved. It's just that you just know you need to give it a try, right? Everything can be solved. There's nothing that you cannot solve, right? So let us quickly have a recap on the stress management. Right, so these are the 10 tips that will help you. Right, so the basic minimum is that you need to stay positive and you need to practice all these tips that we have talked about. One thing that is not mentioned in this video is time management. Students, time management is very, very essential because that is the thing that can help you in easing out your stress, right? So now I'm going to tell you about a very interesting concept which is very much in use these days, that is called as stress bucket, right? Let me just tell you what is the stress bucket. As you can see, consider that your life is just like a bucket which you are holding in your hand and you are moving around, and whatever anxieties, physical problems, stressors, any issues that you're facing, you are just pouring it into this bucket. So there will come a time when this bucket will start overflowing, isn't it? So how much time or how much attention you are paying to these stressors, how much you are filling your bucket with these stressors, is something that is important, right? And you suppose you're carrying a bucket with you, and once it becomes very heavy, then what do? Right? So there might be family members issues, there might be, some conflicting things, lack of sleep, you're not facing you are not feeling good, some physical illness, yours or your close family members, some conflicts, some uncertainties, some interruptions, deadlines, over expectations, some money problem, right? So all these things are there filled in your stress bucket. Now this bucket has become heavier and heavier and heavier. Then what will you do? What will you do? I just got one response from Sachin sir. What about others? If you are carrying a bucket which is getting overloaded, right? Suppose you are carrying water in that bucket, what will happen? It will start pouring out from all sides, no? So you are going to empty it, right? You are going to unload it and bring it to a level that you can carry it with you, right? Or you can also use tool that it should not act as a burden for you, right? So how are we going to ease out this bucket? Now these are all stress coping mechanisms which we have talked about. So please keep this analogy in mind, that all of us are carrying a bucket with us and we are just putting on our stress into it. The more you are responding to traumas, the more you are responding to anxieties, to distress, to worries, you are adding that, a cup full of water into your bucket. If you will not unload this bucket, it will become so heavier for you that it will be difficult for you to carry it, right? And you will be overburdened. Your responses will be changed, right? And how are you going to unload your bucket? You can seek the help of your friends. You can exercise and meditate. That will help you in calming yourself down and ease or unload the stress bucket. You can take rest. Sometimes it is just good to chill. Suppose you have very good weather outside. Go sit in your balcony. Just don't do anything for a few minutes or half an hour or 1 hour. Have fun, watch some good movie, spend time with your friends, go and play badminton, go for cycling, right? Listen to some good relaxation music which you like, pursue your hobby, take care of yourself, eat some healthy food, meditate. Now these are all stress easers, and again these are important so that you can ease out the bucket, you can unload the stress bucket of yours, right students? So I'm sure that all my students are not going to carry this such a high stress bucket anymore, isn't it? And once you are going to do this, it will be certainly very, very helpful for you. Have a look at this stress management video. I hope you all like the concept of stress bucket. Is there anything that is coming to your mind which you want to ask? Any question related with stress bucket? Yes, students, any question related with stress bucket? Is this clear? Is this clear to everybody? Am I audible? All right, okay. Sachinji, it's not possible to stop the supply. As I said that, till we have ups and downs in our life, our ECG also says that we are alive, right? And when it is going to be a straight line, we cannot stop the stressors, but definitely how we perceive it and how we respond to it, that is in our hands, right? So let's have a look at this quick video. This is a very, very interesting story which I was about to tell you. The psychologist was teaching stress management to an audience. As she raised a glass of water, right? Everyone expected that they would be asked to tell that whether this glass is, how do you perceive the glass? The glass, is it empty or full? Right? So the psychologist was having a smile on her face and she said that how heavy is the glass of water? So student, I expect all of you to answer. Right? So this lady was carrying a glass in her hand which was half full, right? And she asked her students that how heavy is this glass of water? How heavy is this glass of water? What do you think? Suppose you are having a glass of water, right? And it is just half filled and you are, holding it in your hand. Keep your hand straight, right? So this is what she has done. So she asked, how heavy is this glass of water? Right? So everybody started, and there were different answers which were ranging from 8 ounce to 20 ounce. She replied, the absolute weight doesn't matter. It depends on how long I'm going to hold it in my hand. Right? This is a very beautiful story. Understand it properly. If I hold it for a minute, what do you think if I'm going to hold a glass of water half filled for a minute? It's not a problem, isn't it? But if I hold it for an hour, I will have an ache in my arm, isn't it? I cannot keep my arm just straight for an hour. But if I hold it for a day, this glass of water, even if it is half filled, if I'm going to hold it for a day, my arm will feel numb and paralyzed. In each case, the weight of the glass does not matter and it does not change also. It's going to remain the same. But how long am I holding it in my hand? This is certainly going to create an impact. The longer I hold it, the heavier it becomes, right? So the stresses and worries in life are also like this, right? Like this glass of water only. It does not matter how heavy it is, but if we will think about them for a while and nothing happens, right? Think about it a bit longer, then what will happen? And they begin to hurt. And if you're going to think about it for a lot of time or for, about them all day long, then what will happen? You will feel paralyzed, right? That means paralyzed means what? You will become incapable of doing anything. So always remember to put the glass of water down, right? So it does not matter whether what is the weight of the glass, but for how long you are going to hold it will certainly create a lot of impact. So it doesn't matter whether the stressor is big or small, but if you are going to carry it with you throughout the day, it will definitely have a negative impact on you. right? So always remember this ABC strategy. Be aware of your stressors, balance the stress that you are facing, and try to take control of the things. Not everything you'll be able to control, but certainly you can follow these stress reduction methods. It is very good if you have a good group or social support. When I say social support, it is not always Facebook or social media support, but some good friends with whom you can spend a time. If you don't have such a positive friend circle, you can always invest your time in a good book. It is always said that there is no better friend than a good book. And if you're a book lover, you will if you're a book lover, you will never feel lonely. Relax to some good music, meditate, have some creative imagery, self-hypnosis. Self-hypnosis means saying positive things to yourself. Students, it really works. Sometimes when you're feeling low or you start questioning your own self or you feel that you're not capable of doing something good, things are not going as per the plan, you could not make it for the interviews, you have not got the scores as you expected, everything is fine, right? There's always a next chance to improve, right? So just that you were not able to crack one exam or just that you were not able to clear one exam, one job interview does not mean that you are not good enough for other things, right? You cannot judge a fish by its climbing ability, right? And similarly, you cannot judge a bird by its ability to swim. All of us are blessed with something unique. All of us are blessed with some unique capacities, capabilities, and talent. Don't compare yourself with anyone else. They might be just that the time is not right for something to happen. Time management plays a very important role in stress reduction method. As I said, breathing exercises also help. Sometimes when you feel stressed or you feel anxious, sit down, relax, and have some deep breathing exercises, and it really works as wonders. Right? Suppose you have all the negative thoughts coming in your mind which you are not able to stop, right? So you can just take a good book and start reading, or just go out for a walk. Change your place where you're sitting, and you will find that your thoughts will change, right? Relaxation response, proper nutrition is also very important. Spend some time in some quiet environment. Sit in a comfortable position, read some positive books, listen to some positive music. Meditation music also helps. Even I also try that sometimes, when I feel very stressed out, or if, the day becomes really long, the working becomes hectic, I'm not able to relax my brain, then I just put on headphones and play some good relaxation music. I just, switch off all the lights and lie down on bed, right? So it helps, it makes your mind relax and you will feel good about it, right? So these are something, yes, definitely. If you love to listen to music, if you love to dance, if you love to play something, anything, whatever gives you relaxation, whatever gives you pleasure, do that, right? Don't try to take control or don't try to be in charge of everything. Everything is not under your control, right? You don't have the capacity to change everything. So sometimes there are few things which you just need to admire. So enjoy your life as it comes and always be happy, right? So stress is a part and parcel of our everyday life. We will not be able to, change it altogether, but definitely how we respond to these stressors is in our hand. So respond to the stressor with a smile and say it's a new challenge, so I'm going to face it. Enjoy your life as it comes and always be happy. So that brings us to the end of the session on stress management. And I'm sure that with my positive words and with the tips and techniques that we have discussed in class today, this session is going to be beneficial for you and you will be able to manage the stress that all of you are facing presently or will be facing in your coming life, right? So again, a small test for all of you. I'll be sharing the link. in the same manner in which I have shared in the last class. And all of you can go through the stress test after the class. I'll be sharing the link through the chat box. Right, so after the class, you all can visit this site and you all can, you all can administer this test on yourself to know how stressed are you. Right, I'm just going to share this link. Just copy this link and paste it in a new window. Right, it will help you. Thank you so much, Neha. If you have got the answer to all your queries, that's really amazing. That was the objective of the session, that the queries needs to be resolved. Still, if you all have any queries or you want to speak with me, I would appreciate if you all can share your feedback of the class with me on feedback.mentorbuddy@gmail.com. You all can connect with me on that. If you have any technical issues related with the class, webinars, or with the e-certifications, you can write on support@mentorbuddy.com. I'm sure all of you are receiving your e-certificates. Please upload that on LinkedIn and tag us on Quantum Learnings, right? Visit our website www.mentorbuddy.com and centerofexcellence.com. There is no www there. Centerofexcellence.com. You will find the list of upcoming webinars there for which you can register yourself. These webinars on soft skills, verbal ability, logical reasoning, and technical webinars are our routine affair. So we are conducting all these webinars, and there are a lot of resources available free of cost for the students on our website. Please do visit our websites and take the to have the optimum utilization of the resources available for you. You all can connect with me on my Facebook page, Guidance for Career, and for any kind of suggestions or guidance related with career, you can connect there. Right, so thank you so much, students. It was really nice interacting with all of you, and I'm sure that all of you have got the answer to your queries. Still, if you have any questions, I'll wait for another 2 minutes for your queries. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you all on Sunday at 11 a.m. for the next webinar. Thank you so much. Any questions, students? I'm available for next 2 minutes. Thank you so much, Sachin sir. Coming from you means a lot. I hope you've enjoyed the session. I hope everybody has got some key takeaways from my session today, right? Neha, if you don't have login ID and password of Center of Excellence, then you will be getting the link from which you can join the next webinar. Yes, definitely, Sachinji. That really matters a lot. Sometimes we, overburden ourselves. We take so much that we are not able to do. So that is why time management plays a very important role. Thank you so much, Pragati, for your feedback. Thank you. Any other questions, students? Yes, saying no is also required, but how we are going to say that really plays an important role, right? Okay. Any other questions? Prerna, for your e-certificate, please write on support@mentorbuddy.com and you'll be receiving the same. Right, for all e-certificate issues, please write on support@mentorbuddy. All right, thank you so much, students. Good night and take care. Bye-bye.